What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Offseason with the Next Guy Up podcast. We are live on a Friday. We've got a lot going on in the sports world, everybody. We've got Masters. We've got a college basketball champion to talk about for 3 seconds. Baseball is just getting started in the 162 game season, and we have hockey and NBA playoffs just starting next week. Oh, and also, not to mention, the NFL draft in 2 weeks, which we're going to have a lot of content for that coming up. So this is just sports everywhere. If you thought this podcast was going to fall off because we didn't have football, I hate to break the news to you haters, but you were wrong. We will never die.
We will never fall off.
There's never not sports on, so we will never stop dominating you.
Despite what all the people on Twitter were responding to Tins and Mason about. We got a lot of hate this week on Twitter.
I held my own in some battles. I do feel bad that I couldn't come and help Mason with his. He picked the wrong fight with the fantasy football community about grading quarterbacks. They grade quarterbacks by weird fantasy football points production, and because they were talking about how Josh Allen was better than Mahomes, and Mason said that was wild, which it is wild. But not in the fantasy football world.
I knew Tinsley would back me up, but then I realized what we were kind of discussing already. I didn't get into the fantasy football community as much. These people are crazy about their stats. I literally had to reply within like a minute with like just all these stats. Like he was waiting for someone to say something, and he already had the document.
He was waiting,
like,
and you walked right into his trap.
I did.
They got him ready.
Like,
they got every stat possible.
It was literally like Josh Mahomes rankings the last 5 years, this, and this, and then Patrick Mahomes. He had all this other like rushing stuff. And I was like,
you said Josh Mahomes.
Say Josh Mahomes.
Josh Mahomes.
Who's that?
Patrick Mahomes.
Now, Josh Mahomes, he might be unstoppable.
An elite quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. It was this whole ordeal, but I got a couple followers from it. I'll take it.
I stirred up the Purdue beehive. Boy, are they very defensive about their free throw merchant, Zach Edey.
Is that what you call him?
I will refer to him as the free throw merchant for forever now, I think. It's my favorite thing to do.
I think that they are a particularly hostile fan base. I will say they did show out pretty good numbers for the national championship game. What we thought was going to be true the entire tournament turned out to be true. Tins.
Yep.
He cashed out. Well, he did cash out a bet.
I did cash out a straight that I should have left. Yeah, but an extra $140 in my pocket.
You got 4 or 5 pretty big futures that all included UConn national champion or UConn Final Four. So
some of them were Final Four and some of them were championship. So I got that cleared. So next step is Colorado Avalanche. But yeah, like you said, UConn just they're just a buzzsaw this year and last year. What's crazy is they lost 75% of their scoring from the year before, and we're a better team this year. They were the number 1 overall seed in college basketball. They were a 4 seed last year. So, I mean, there's just Dan Hurley right now is on top of the basketball world. Like, I think as long as he's there as the head coach, you have to mention them as a legit threat because he's now shown he can reload this team and kind of dominate in a very hard tournament. It's been a very long time since we've had a back-to-back champion or a team that's just dominated like this in general. Especially in the era of one and done and now transfers. See if he can do it a third year in a row will be something really to talk about because he could really put himself up there as like one of the best coaches we've seen.
And I do think a popular storyline throughout this, especially the last week, I think, has been the similarities between how the women's championship and the men's championship ended. We had both championships were number 1 seeds going against each other, both against a perennial powerhouse program. and both with the other team having a generational type player, Caitlin Clark and Zach Edey. Like just like
Yeah, the
they kind of
storylines,
stand alone in a category of themselves, like by themselves. And both of those teams with those generational players got beat out by more complete, well-rounded teams, by better coaches. I don't think there's any question about that. I think it just goes to show, even in college basketball, that one player can't win a championship as much as we'd like to think they can.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like we saw Zach Edey put up 37 points. We saw Caitlin Clark have a really good performance, and it didn't matter. Both teams got beat out pretty good by a very well-rounded team. Could score at every position, can guard at every position. It's just, it is what it is still,
So the viewings, the women's game actually, I don't know if it's because of the start time, but the women's had more viewings than the
network.
The blowout that was
one
UConn.
was on TBS and one was on CBS.
The 9:20 Eastern start time
Tough.
for the men's game does not
Tough
help.
break.
I know that's also been a big talking point through this week. That just makes no sense to me.
On a Monday night, which is a work
the
night.
Monday night as well. It's pretty. I know that this was the most watched women's basketball game ever, and it was pretty clear that people wanted to see this matchup, wanted to see what Caitlin Clark could do on the biggest stage. All of those things are true, but also it was very tough for it to start so late.
Sorry, we have a rogue dog. One of us does. I'm not sure which one. I think it's Thanos.
I've muted my mic, but apparently it is not working.
I think it's because you're talking through your headphones.
No, dang it.
We caught you. Busted again.
I was like, I don't think it's me. We were all looking around like, whose dog is that?
Get those fantasy football guys back on you now about talking through your headphones again. This guy. This is our 75th episode, and he still can't figure out how to do his call settings. All right, so the whole viewing thing. I'm happy that the women's game got so many eyeballs on it. I think there are a lot of X factors, like you're talking about the Eastern time tip being so late, it being a Monday night. And I don't know. I feel like with streaming services, it's not picking it. I don't know. I just don't know how accurate that number really is. I really just do. Also,
it's hard to. I think it is hard.
The championship game was on 3 different channels. I watched it on True TV. So is it just
True TV and TBS? I think pretty much always have the same stuff when it's like
right.
that.
So does it factor in all the different channels, or
that's a good question?
Because there was, when I clicked on the game, it gave me 3 options. I could watch it on TBS, TNT, or True TV. I had watched their game before on True TV's option, and I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. So I was like, well, we're going to put it right back on True TV.
And it worked for you.
One other point I want to talk about UConn, and I thought this was pretty cool. Newton, who was a transfer player, he played 2 years at ECU. His coach that he went there to play for got fired. Was kind of like an in limbo player. He wasn't like a top recruit or even a top guy in the transfer portal. Comes to UConn, buys into the system. He got put into UConn's Ring of Honor at the celebration the other night after they got back. I just think that's a cool thing for a guy who came in. He won a championship last year, got some draft buzz, and even talked about he could have went to the draft, but instead stayed for one more year, kind of led this team as like the senior leadership. So for that to reward for him, and now he's up there in the Ring of Honor forever. They've retired his jersey number. I thought that was pretty cool. So that's cool for UConn.
That is very cool.
All right, so that is going to wrap us up on this college basketball season. Put a nice little bow on it. Congratulations to the UConn Huskies and to that psychopath Dan Hurley. I love that guy. He is a wild man on the court. I think my favorite moment from the whole tournament was when he shoved Cam Spencer at the end, trying to run a play, and then looked at the ref with all seriousness and was like, "What? I didn't do anything." It's like, Dan, you're on the court and you're shoving your own player to run a play, guy.
How about him talking back to Edey?
No, I love that too because Zach Edey, that free throw merchant, was trying to talk trash to him. So like I said, that's going to be it for college basketball. There's about 10 other 1,000 sports going on this week, including our first major in golf. Now, when you listen to this episode on Friday, we've already had our first round. Maybe there's some pretty serious rain in the forecast on Thursday in Augusta, so we might get a delay. First round might not be till Friday. So we will be just kind of playing that by ear. There will be golf picks out on Twitter. Make sure you go and check those. I have some outright winners I've given out, but Mason has a list of stats for us going into the Masters. So what you got?
Yes. So just to give you all a little heads up, maybe you're looking to bet, maybe you're just looking for a favorite. I got some random stats here. So each of the last 10 winners were inside the top 30 for the world rankings. So if you are looking at betting someone and they are outside the top 30, you might want to stay away from them. I have a list of some of the names here. Now, the only thing is that this, you put an asterisk beside this because the world rankings were affected by all the live golf players before the merger. So some of them, to the exception, would be like Brooks Koepka, Will Zalatoris, Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Reed, Cameron Smith.
Will Zalatoris isn't on live. He was just hurt last
Oh,
year.
he had an injury. That's right.
Yeah,
he was
didn't
hurt.
play last year.
Sorry. You're right. Some of the players I had, let me pull up the world rankings. Scotty Scheffler's number 1, Rory McIlroy number 2, Jon Rahm number 3. We
He's
have
on live
now. Patrick Cantley at number 7. Outside of the 30 was Will Zalatoris was 31, Brooks Koepka 33, Ricky Fowler 37. Most of those you recognize some of their names there. Adam Scott 53, and I actually scrolled all the way through the top 100 and could not find Tiger Woods. I do not know what he's ranked, but he was not on the first page, and there was like 7 of them. So I guess I could have looked, but I didn't. The next trend. By the way, any thoughts on that, Tinsley or Zach? Either one.
Nothing really sticks out to me. I mean, those that makes sense. Those guys that I follow that are doing well or ranked where they're at. It doesn't surprise me Tiger Woods was not ranked. He's not played like a full tournament in a long time.
Yeah.
I have no thoughts.
Okay, thank you, Zach. Second trend, 55 of the last 57 winners did not win back-to-back Masters. Who won last year, everybody?
Jonathan Rahm.
Jon Rahm. So, not looking good for Jon Rahm there. Other trend, 7 of the last 10 winners had a previous top 10 at the Masters. So, interesting thought there. Next trend, 7 of the last 10 winners had a win in their previous 7 starts. So some of the ones that have not done this, Justin Thomas, Cameron Smith, Victor Hovland, Tony Finau, Will Zalatoris, Jordan Spieth. So there's a couple of those. 13 of the last 14 winners were in the top 50 in driving distance. So you have to have a pretty good drive, be in the top 50 to, pull off this win. So you could, I literally just typed in that ranking and you get the top 50 there. So you could look at some of the players. If you went based on those trends, your best bet would be the leading favorite, which Tinsley actually has a fun fact about who the favorite is, but that would be Scotty Scheffler. If you go by those trends, he was the one. If you put all those trends together, he was the one that was your best bet according to those trends. But go ahead,
I saw
Tim.
a stat where the number one, like the favorite going into the Masters weekend has not won it since Tiger did it back in and if you're a dimplehead big golf guy, please don't come after me for the year in the because I don't remember the stat exactly, but I think it was 06 when Tiger won it as the outright favorite going in. Was the last time it happened. So, but I don't know. I do have a bet on Scotty because he is just playing dominant golf right now. His putting, he's been a dominant driver, short game. Like he's been the number one player in the world for a while. His one weakness was putting. Going into this season, he's really he's switched putters, has picked up a new technique, and he's been dominating so far in the PGA tour. So I've got him. Shout out DraftKings. They did a bet and get promo. So whatever you bet, you would get back in a free bet. So I put my first bet on him to get a free bet back, and then use that free money on my guy Brooks Koepka. I kind of low key didn't realize it, but I might be a live golf guy because I have Brooks Koepka, Cam Smith, and Dustin Johnson all to win. A couple other guys in there too, but that's like three of the biggest live golf guys.
You also parlayed them to be in the top 20. That with Will Zalatoris and
then
who was the other one? Cameron Smith, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, and Willie Z at plus 3,000.
Yeah, so and that was it was Koepka to be top 10, and then Cam.
Sorry, I thought they were all top 20.
No, the other three were so Tony and then the other two in top 20. Had a free bet, threw that on there just to be a little bit wild. But have you seen now this might, and I don't know how golf would do this. I know how other sports void things. I guess he would withdraw, but there's actually two golfers that are very much due to have a baby. Scotty Scheffler's wife is due within the next week or two, and then Sam Burns' wife is due like this week.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Zach Durham.
Well, Zach Durham could withdraw from the podcast any second now. I mean, Megan could walk in the room like, it's time to go.
It's true. I would officially withdraw from this podcast episode.
So that kind of adds an interesting wrinkle because, I mean, what does Scotty do there? He's leading by 5 going into the Saturday afternoon round, and his wife's like, well, it's time to go have a baby. Like, what happens then?
It's like, would you rather be there for the baby or have $5 million? Like, which you take your pick.
Vegas would be rooting for that if they don't void everything. If they're just like, oh, so because I'm pretty sure he's the most bet. I could look it up, but every place that I've heard, they're all like on the Scotty Scheffler.
It would matter. I saw that as long as you start the first round, you have to show up and start the first round, and then you're in the bet.
Yeah, I would say
it's avoided after that.
Yeah, like they don't have to because technically he played, and that's just part of life. It'd be like the same thing if he got hurt. Is what sportsbooks would tell you. Knowing how some of them operate, I would say DraftKings would probably void stuff. Just because they're good to their customers.
They want to keep their fans happy.
We're not paid by DraftKings. Let me tell you that.
We would be though.
We would be. I have nothing but good things to say about their customer service and how they handle things like that. FanDuel, on the other hand, is terrible.
Unless they want to sponsor us.
Unless they want to sponsor us, then I will fix their image for them. But I promise you that if Scotty Scheffler's wife goes into labor 5 minutes after his first tee shot, FanDuel's just laughing. They're like, oh, well, too bad. We got all your money.
Cowards.
DraftKings, I think, would void them and give everybody their money back. But golf is something I'll be giving out picks. I kind of really became a big fan of golf last summer after the Full Swing documentary came out. It kind of got me hooked, and then I kind of found a niche like betting it and was doing well, and it kind of carried me through the summer. So I'll be giving out golf picks. They're very don't go crazy, don't go smashing them because I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just kind of I go off vibes more than anything. I got guys that I'm always going to bet on. So that's
it your gut like Zach with college football? Because Zach made us a lot of money last year with it. Listening to his gut is what he was telling us. It's just gut feeling, So is that how you're taking it?
Kind of. I mean, I do some research and things like that, but at the end of the day, golf is golf. I think you just kind of got to find a guy who gets hot or plays well at that certain kind of course. I'm just going to be honest. Cam Smith is my guy. He lives in Jacksonville. He's an Australian guy, but he lives in Jacksonville. So I'm always going to give Cam Smith out as a pick. And then I think Brooks Koepka is cool, and he's always cracks me up on interviews. So I want to take Brooks Koepka.
Good call. I have a bet, and it's not going to be a popular one because I feel like everybody is, for the most part, a fan of Tiger Woods. But I'm going to take him to miss the cut.
Wow, you hate America because everyone's rooting for Tiger.
So how many times can he like finish a course? Like he's, the leg, the injuries.
If you doubt him all you want.
You really think he'll make the cut?
I'm not going to answer that question either way because I'm not going to have Tiger Woods fans after me.
But would you bet it? To make the cut,
I guess we'll never know.
Let me find where it's at. I don't even see. So it's literally minus 115 either way. So totally up to you. I'm going to go with missing the cut because I think it's everybody follows them, but I don't have faith in them.
You could have just kept that to yourself and not made everybody mad.
Well, Zach, just edit this part out. I'm just kidding.
I will never. I only edit the things that make me look bad.
You're the one that edits everything.
Correct. That's why I have the power.
Did you guys hear about UConn's travel issues? Okay, so
crazy stuff.
Tiger Woods, Will Zalatoris, Brooks Koepka, and Jon Rahm all to make the cut is parlayed together at plus 275.
You're not allowed to bet that.
I'm not saying I'm going to take it, but you like all those players. You just went on about them.
I don't like the miss the cut, make the cut bets. I'm really just I bet.
I like taking it because it's a short term bet. Like if you take a bet now, you're in it for 4 days. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Where if you do the miss the make the cut, and then you also bet stuff for the Sunday bet, you have something to look forward to right away, and then you have stuff to look forward to at the end. So
you're talking to Tint, who like just bets futures on all the champions of all the different sports.
He
like
bets stuff. He's
already bet this is a months long bet.
I literally have a ticket in my bet slips from August that's still live right now because it was Chiefs and UConn.
He just bet one that you won't know until next year around this time.
Yeah, I sure did.
UConn national champion.
Yeah. Exactly. So no, I don't care. I'm not someone who cares about having money tied up because when I bet these kind of things, I'm not betting big amounts. Like I'm not putting 2 units on something that's not going to cash for 4 days. At max, like I have 1 full unit on Scotty and 1 full unit on Brooks. So I just like taking outright winners. I'll dabble in like a top 10 if I feel like a guy has a chance to go on a run that's mispriced.
Big dabble guy.
A little bit of a dabble guy, but then I do bet on matchups. I do like the head to head for the day. That's how I. Not for tomorrow. No, not yet. I probably won't give any out till Sunday just so I can see how guys are doing.
I feel like tomorrow's gonna be hard because of the weather.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting that out because I really feel like it's gonna get rained out. Like I don't think they're gonna play much tomorrow. Or I guess since this is coming out on yesterday, even Friday too, there's some weather in the forecast too. So that's making it kind of tough. So I'll have outright winners given out, and then make sure you're following us everywhere on Saturday and Sunday because I'll give out some matchup props that I like. But it's exciting. I mean, golf's first big major. I feel like everyone, even if you're not really a big golf guy or girl, like you don't really watch golf, everyone kind of has a pulse on what's going on with the Masters. All the cool. I mean, they don't let you have your cell phones. Their prices on food is still the same as it was like back in the day. Like you can feed a family of 10 for $7 or something like that. Like you can get a pimento cheese sandwich for $1. You can't buy anything for $1 anymore.
Back when we
No.
were a country, you could.
Yeah, exactly.
Tens, you said you're a big live guy. Any live player to
Fairly.
win at plus 225.
Hmm.
If you're a big American guy, USA to win at minus 165.
Yeah, there's just
If you're rooting against USA, plus 125.
I mean, you're really Victor Hovland comes to mind. I guess Cam Smith, and then
Jacksonville, basically a different country.
well, technically he's Australian. He just lives in Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. Just kidding. Just joking.
No, Jacksonville's not big enough to be its own country. It's a little small town.
Yep, small town.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's good on golf talk.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
Not
a golf
We'll have
pod.
some updates. Yeah, we're not a golf pod, and we'll never be one because we're not smart enough. I guess I don't know. Golf
because we don't ever golf. We know
true.
nothing about.
It would be a disaster if we did. Make for a good content video though.
It would truly.
So baseball. I know baseball is big right now. It is going to be big all summer for betting for the boys. It's been a little rough to start. I'm kind of just feeling out the waters, figuring out the trends. It's early in the season. Been up and down. The Mason's Braves from the Dynasty pick, they've been letting me down a lot. I keep taking them minus 1.5, and they keep just beating teams by 1. It's driving me crazy. But you can't take a money line because it's like minus 200 something. So it's been egregious. But once the weather warms up, that's when you bet on baseball because it's just gonna be hard. It's like hitting starts, RBIs, home runs. That's when it starts getting fun. But we had a fun idea here at the Next Guy Up podcast to do a little draft, bring a little messing around Monday to a off-season Friday.
Ooh, before we do this, I have a trivia for you guys.
That's right. You got some trivia. So Zach's got some trivia. Disclaimer, this is not going to go well if it's baseball trivia because I don't know that. Okay. I thought it was.
No, it is. It's not going to go well. That's
okay, great.
I don't think it's like anything crazy. Well, we'll see. This should be fun.
Maybe we'll surprise ourselves.
Okay, let's do it. Number 1. This is this particular website listed as intermediate questions.
Oh, great.
Number 1. What batting average is the Mendoza line?
Is it 3.3?
No.
Dang it.
4.2.
Okay, do you guys know how batting averages work?
Not particularly.
It's not like it's like a percentage, right? So it's listed as a decimal.
Oh.
So like 4.2 would be like he hits 420% of.
Oh.
1 would be 100%.
This is going well already. This is going so well.
Apparently it's 200.
We were close.
I don't know do you guys know what the Mendoza line means?
I've heard people talk about it when I watch baseball, but I don't know what it means.
This is good podcasting. Okay, I was hoping one of you guys would know what that meant.
Did he just pause?
So, technical difficulties.
Threshold for offensive futility. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. Repeat that. It just kind of froze.
The Mendoza line is baseball jargon for a 200 batting average, the supposed threshold for offensive futility at the major league level. It derives from light-hitting shortstop Mario Mendoza, who failed to reach 200 5 times in his 9 big league seasons. So it means you're a terrible hitter if you're below 200.
If you're below 200. All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, next. It's a good start so far. What is the New York Yankee appearance policy?
Oh, I know this.
Okay, 10.
Clean shaven.
Right.
No visible tattoos. Is that still on? Is that
I don't
still
know about that one.
Oh, I thought it was. I know the clean shaven, no jewelry.
It says no facial hair other than mustaches.
Okay.
So I guess you can't have a mustache. and no long hair.
Okay.
That's all it
Is this
listed
for all players?
for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It just now became like they recently eased up on it
There you go.
because it's not 1970 anymore.
Okay, Joe DiMaggio holds the record for most consecutive games with a hit. But how long was the streak?
I'm gonna go
No, any of these.
580.
Oh no,
I'm gonna go 21 games.
it was 56 games.
Dang, I was
Very good.
No.
So if you're out there in the next guy up listenership, I hope you're doing better than we are. Next, what team set the record for most wins in a season in 2001?
Seattle Mariners.
That is correct.
Wow.
10.
Look at that.
Okay, this one's
Good job.
gettable as well. Who has been the GM of the Oakland Athletics since 1997?
It's been the same one the whole time.
This
I'll give you a
garbage
hint.
guy right now.
There is a movie made about him,
I know. I can't think of his name though.
portrayed by one
Mr.
Brad
Pitt. Didn't he go to the Red Sox?
I think
In the
he
movie?
turned it down. They offered it. to him.
Oh, okay. Well, that guy's the enemy of baseball right now. So
No, he's the GM, not the owner. The GM.
he works for him. He should protest. I can't think of his name.
I don't know when this article is written. That would be one Billy Bean.
Oh,
Billy Bean.
As soon as I heard the name, I just
That
couldn't think of the
guy.
name. Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill.
Brad Pitt.
Analytics. They didn't care about stats anymore.
That is correct. Okay, so he's no longer a GM actually as of this year. He is an executive advisor.
Well, he needs to advise that owner to sell the team and stop being a tool.
Okay, next. What is the record for fastest pitch thrown in a major league game?
109.
Mason?
107.
105.
Dang it.
Thrown by
Mason's right.
Aroldis Chapman for the Reds. Next. Oh, here we go, Mason. True or false? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm listening.
50%. If the ball gets stuck in the catcher's face mask, runners can advance one base.
True.
That is true.
Hey.
That's wild stuff. Who knew?
Wow.
Not me.
Who knew?
Next. Who are the only father-son duo to hit back-to-back home runs in a game?
The Griffies.
Correct.
Nice.
I cannot wait for the Jameses to have the same stat, but for dunks. Electric stuff. Okay, next. What team relocated to Washington in 2004 and became the Nationals?
Cleveland?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Canada.
Oh,
Toronto.
no. Dadgummit.
Pretty. They speak a lot of French there.
It's in Montreal.
True.
I can't. The Expos.
The Expos. This guy just dug that
Oh.
out of nowhere. Crushing it. That's it. Montreal Expos. Lastly, last question. Who is the only player to record over 5,000 strikeouts in their career? I don't know how old this trivia is. I hope it's still accurate.
So, like, this is a hitter that recorded that many?
No, I think it's a pitcher.
Oh, okay. The Rocket. What's his name? Clements. Roger Clemens.
No.
Dang it.
This would be
Oh, wait, no. It's Tommy.
Nolan Ryan. Sorry,
Oh.
it's Nolan Ryan.
Maybe the guy.
Oh, that guy.
Tommy John. The guy who got named after.
Nicknamed the Ryan Express. Cool
Oh,
nickname.
wow. The Ryan Express. Look out for that guy.
Oh no, we're gonna get roasted for this baseball segment. This is maybe not a good idea. Okay, here we go. So we're
That was
drafting.
solid. I feel like we did pretty solid for casual baseball fans.
Listen, I'm educating myself here. I'm trying to learn some stuff. I know that I don't know very much about baseball history.
See
We
who
here are
else
all
could
about
pull out
education.
the Montreal Expos.
That's pretty good. That was solid. That was a solid get right there.
I know ball.
He knows ball. The more we do this, I think Tinsley knows most about all sports. Mason is pretty in the NFL corner of the world. You think that's true, Mason?
Yeah, I would say that. Maybe some NBA. There for a hot minute, I was
Mason probably
very.
beat me in NBA.
You're
think.
a big Kobe fan back in the day.
Yeah,
You feel like you
yeah.
watch a lot of Lakers basketball.
Yeah, I've kind of surprisingly, you'd be like, why did you get away from it with LeBron there? But I don't know. Here lately, I've just kind of gotten away from it a little bit. But let's just keep learning.
Keep
Get back
learning.
into it. Keep learning.
Yeah, it's fun.
I brush up on my sports knowledge.
I like that. Okay, are we ready to draft something that requires no knowledge about the sport at all?
Let's do it.
No, we're just going off of vibes and how cool it is.
Okay,
so all logos.
Yeah, Tins, you wanna break it down for us?
Yeah. So and we haven't even talked about how many we're doing. None of that. There's I don't even know how many baseball teams there are. We'll figure it out. But we're going to do a draft of baseball team logos.
30 teams.
30. There's 3 of us, 10 each.
Perfect.
It was a joke. It was a joke. So yeah, I mean, pretty self-explanatory. A little mess around Monday on a Friday.
Yep.
So I know Zach's probably getting the wheel up right now, so I'm going to filibuster a little bit more. Shout out my guy Jackson Holiday, number 1 MLB prospect on my number 1 selected Boston Orioles in the dynasty draft. I might have been laughed at for that choice, but when he is the future MVP of the league and they win 7 World Series in a row, I will be the one who's laughing. Here we go. It's wheel time. Let's figure out who's going first. I can't wait for Mason to get it and draft. I know which one Mason's going to draft. Oh, it's
Mason.
The wheel knows. The wheel
loves him.
How did that bet cash, by the way, Tins?
Which one?
On your homeboy you just shouted out on the Orioles.
It cashed.
All right. And the home run did?
Boost? No, not the home run.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
I'm Mason's first. Then
I'm going to kick us off.
I'm next.
So something I noticed about these logos that are different than if you look at NHL, NBA, or the NFL is a majority of them are just straight up letters. So I want to do my first pick with something. There's not many of them that have.
Time out.
Yeah,
time out. I think there's a question of what is their actual logo. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Oh,
there's
I was
logo,
just thinking
and
their
then a
logo
lot of
right
teams
now.
have the letters that they just put on the hat. Like if we're talking, we'll just give one away here. The Yankees,
Boston,
or Boston. Boston's logo is the physical Red Sox. It's not the big red B.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So what do we want to do? Just that straight up, like their actual legit logo, like with the picture.
Yes. Here you go. I've got one.
It's more fun.
Okay.
I've got a picture. I'll send it to you.
No. Okay. I do have another one. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the first pick that I'm going to pick. I actually had a fun fact about this one, so this will be fun.
Only Mason would have a fun fact about a logo.
Yep.
He knew he was going number 1. He knew he was going to get it.
The New York Mets. Here's the reason why. If you look at the logo, so it got the buildings. It's got the buildings in the background.
Right.
It is legitimate, significant buildings of New York. So at the left is the church spiral, symbolic of Brooklyn, the borough of churches. The second building from the left is the Williamsonburg Savings Bank, the tallest building in Brooklyn. Next is the Worldworth Building. And also Empire State Building is on there. So it's like legitimate buildings that are in New York. I thought that was cool. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
got
cool
the
if you
bridge.
like New York and you don't think it's super lame like I do.
And
I
it's
think
got the
New York
baseball around it.
sucks.
I could have picked anything, Tinsley, and you would have just straight up been like, you
I
know
kinda-
what?
No, I just don't. I think New York sucks and they take themselves too seriously. I don't care what their stupid buildings being on the
So
ball.
New York and Italians. Put it on the list.
Well, it would go together, wouldn't it? Fake Italians that live in New York.
Fake Italian.
Get some
Okay.
fresh mutts. Some fresh mutts.
Who'd you think I was going to pick? Or are you not going to tell me?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, well, when I will say a majority of them were just the letters that are not their actual logo. But go ahead for whoever's next. I already forgot.
It's me.
Okay.
My.
I thought the Mets one was
My
cool.
turn.
No,
I like the Mets one.
I like the Mets one. It's fine.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Phillies logo being the Liberty Bell
It's kind of dope.
because I love America.
I picked New York with significant buildings, and that wasn't America enough.
No, because New York is just lame. And the Statue of Liberty, or not the Liberty. I picked the Liberty Bell.
It's got liberty and
Freedom.
Freedom. No, that's a good one.
Okay,
I like the
good
colors.
pick. Okay, I've got a hot take for everybody here.
Oh,
I think MLB logos are like way better than NFL logos. On average.
yes. No, it's not a hot take. MLB logos are fire.
I've been looking at some just to decide what I'm going to pick, and I'm like, dang, all of these are pretty good. Like, there's not a lot of bad ones.
There's some super lame ones in the NFL, including both of our teams.
I think
Both
that
of our
would be
team
correct.
logos.
Yeah. We already drafted those NFL logos. Go listen back to the pod. But I do think the vast majority of logos in baseball are very good and iconic. Maybe not the Cleveland Guardians.
What? It has so much tradition. Circa 2021.
Speaking of tradition, I'm picking the Chicago Cubs.
Dadgummit.
Classic. The
So
big
classic.
C. It is just, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to beat it. There's nothing really fancy going on. And if you just look at it like from its face, like if someone were to create that today, people would be like, that's kind of a weird logo. But I think the tradition that goes along with it helps it a lot.
Everyone knows what it is.
Speaking of everyone knows what it is, my second pick will be the Red Sox of Boston. Literally, we got some Red Sox.
Literally.
And again, at your face, it's like, man, this is kind of like someone drew this, and it's just not that creative. But when you think about how iconic it is, and like I said, there's a lot of really good logos, but those two are classics. Like, talk about recognition. Both are just instantly recognizable, which I think is a big part of it logo. So that's where I'm at.
Love it. All right, I'm going to go with the Arizona Diamondbacks. The big A, it looks like, and where the A kind of crosses over, it's supposed to be a snake's head. It has the snake's skin on one side.
Like
Their jerseys are fire.
pretty dope.
Give me the Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks.
Do they have any other? Do some of them have like two logos? I feel like I saw something that had like an actual like diamondback, like a snake in it. There's another logo that I'm going to bring up if I get to draft it. That's not on this picture that you sent. That was like I feel like
Draft it
some of them
now.
have like two.
It's your turn. Draft it.
Okay.
Do it.
So the one
Shock
that
the world.
So the one that it's different picture here, but it would be the Milwaukee Brewers, which is the baseball mitt with the M and the B as the mitt. So I can even like show you a picture. It's not going to help anybody that's like listening to the pod, but it's like the
I think I've seen that one before.
And I don't think it's a retro. Like, so it's
no. After I sent this, that one counts. I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
I see.
I think it's cool because it's literally a baseball mitt with their two letters in it, the M and the B, but it's made out of the two
Ooh.
And if you never know, I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna
detail.
I do like that.
That is cool.
Thank you. My
very cool logo for a very boring baseball team.
Yeah. Even the colors are very lame. Like the most boring of colors.
I feel like I've never met a Milwaukee Brewers fan. Their team never does anything.
Yeah, could be.
I never bet on any of their guys that hit home runs.
Yeah. The logo that he sent was like an M, but underneath it is like barley for like the brewer, like brewing companies, like beer. So interesting, I guess. My third pick, is going to be the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinal is on the baseball bat with
That's
the Cardinals
a football team, brother.
Or I'm sorry, St. Louis Cardinals. Dang it. I literally saw the Cardinal. Brother? Hello, brother. Yeah, St. Louis Cardinals. My bad. The baseball bat.
With the bird.
I was like, I hope I don't say it wrong. Thank you. The
that
baseball. He's on the Leave it to me to draft an NFL team on accident.
Checks out.
On brand. Okay, that's my third.
All right. I mean, it's still sitting here, so I'll take it. I'll go Braves with the tomahawk.
It's a good one. Good one, Tins.
Okay. You got the red, you got the blue, you got the tomahawk. There you go. And the cursive.
It is a cool logo.
You can't forget about the cursive. I feel like I've picked a lot of red stuff.
I know. I'm trying to think of how to diversify a little bit. Okay. I think I'm just going to go best available here.
There you go.
How many teams are we drafting? Did we say that?
5.
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
100.
So we're going to leave out half the league.
Yeah, they're the worst. Okay. I think I'm going to go with a little bit of a different style on this one, I think, but I don't know. Very cool logo. I think when I do these lists, I tend to go with instantly recognizable, like the ones that are impossible to disassociate with your team. So I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles. A little different color scheme. It's much different. There's not really any of the other ones that's like a cartoonish character like that. They're pretty singular. All the rest of the teams have like realistic animals. It's a little bit more in the NFL maybe model of that type of logo, but it's very cool. It looks very retro. It looks like they've just I don't know the history behind this. Mason maybe could tell us. It looks like a logo that hasn't changed in a very long time. Like it's been the logo for it looks like a retro NFL logo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like from the 90s.
Yeah, where they just haven't updated it, but it's super cool. And my fourth pick is going to be I like this one. I think there's two that are similar. I'm going to go with the one I like a little more that I think is cooler. I'm going to go with the LA Dodgers. Shout out to my dynasty.
Ooh.
Very simple, but it's got the script with the ball coming through. I just think it's a cool looking logo. Different than all the rest of mine. Again, I'm trying to diversify here a little bit.
So that Oriole specific logo was 2012 to now.
Wow.
Before then, it looked like a realistic traditional bird is what it said.
Better.
And then even before that was a traditional, all the way up to 1966 to 89 was something that looked similar, which was a cartoon bird face with a hat. So they just copied the original cartoon bird from the 60s to the 80s.
That.
Yeah, they tried to make it a little more retro more realistic through the 90s and early 2000s.
See, like the Blue Jays or the Cardinals had those. Yeah.
The very first one was 1955 to 1962, which was another cartoon bird.
Right there.
Everybody look these up. They're pretty cool.
All these teams are about to start going back to retro logos because I think they're
I hope so.
We started seeing them a little bit more get revived, like the retro uniforms and stuff. I think retro logos are going to have a renaissance.
I mean, one of my favorite things was playing Madden with like the retro. I enjoyed those better, like Broncos or Patriots or just like a retro.
Yeah,
I thought they were more
the
fun.
retros.
So, okay. Good pick.
Tins.
All right, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Royals. It looks like it is a blue banner with a crown on top of it. I feel like that's one of those when you see it, you know what that team is. Like there's no mistaking it for somebody else. They are what they are.
Mm.
And the
True.
crown on top is pretty cool to me.
I like that. It's different than all the rest of them. I feel like it stands out.
I feel like that blue, that royal blue with the gold, it just kind of pops.
Yeah.
Like whenever I see Royals games, they're all blue uniforms. They just kind of stand out to me.
There's no other like team that has that color. Maybe if you wanted to say the Brewers close to it, but not necessarily that combo. So some of the others, they have very similar color combinations. Not that team. All right, good pick. Who's up?
You are.
You are.
Okay. Am I finishing it? No, we got one more round. Yeah, back to back.
For your last picks.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the Miami Marlins just because it's got the actual Marlin in it. And if you do go back, I know we're not drafting like retro and like different logos, but they have a lot of fun different logos as well. Fun like different colors as well. This one just has the black, but I know they have like those like neon colors. And I know we're not drafting like uniforms, but like the Marlin. And I am going to go with the most boring. It is a letter, but it's because it's something that was brought that I actually looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, it does have this. And I was like doing some research. The San Diego Padres is the S and the D, and they are connected. And if you look in the middle, it has the P for the Padres, and they actually did that on purpose. But if you've never even noticed it, it literally just looks like SD for San Diego, but it has them connected to form the P for Padres. So it's like
nice.
It's kind of like art. It's kind of like they tried that. It's different. I'm going for something different than just pictures and cartoons. I wanted to go with something that had all three, had a hidden thing to it. So,
I like that.
Mason likes the Where's Waldo feel where you're trying to find the hidden little quirk in their logo.
Like it.
Next time the Titans redo their logo, they should hide Waldo in their logo somewhere, or the Jags.
A lot better than what they have now.
All right, next up.
I'm going to go with the Colorado Rockies. They've got the purple mountain scene with the white snow caps.
Yeah.
On the one I'm looking at least.
Okay.
Maybe it's one of the more old ones. I don't know. But
no, that one's cool.
That's what I noticed them wearing that on their hats, and it goes with their uniforms. That they bust out the purple uniforms. Those are cool. With the purple pants, it feels like you're watching like a Savannah Bananas game whenever they have the all purple uniforms on. Like this isn't Major League Baseball. What is going on? What is happening?
See, I don't know why for each time I look up logos, it's all a different time. Like we have a different one of the Guardians, but this one has the Guardians like new logo with the baseball and the G and like the wings on it. I know, but I'm just saying all of them have like different ones. Like I'm looking at the Brewers trying to look for it, and they just have like all different logos. So it's like, do we have our mind made up on what our logos actually are? I don't really know. This one has the Pirates, and it's literally like a legitimate pirate on it. Is that retro or is that a real one?
Cool. No, yeah, I think that's cool.
But it's not on this picture you sent me, so I can't keep up.
Well, that one I sent you apparently was from 2019. I just noticed that it's all the teams. So what they do in baseball is they have primary jerseys with the logos on them, but they do more like switching in season. Like they're not as strict as NFL, where like you have one away jersey and one home jersey, and that's what you wear all year.
Like here's the Miami Marlins one with the neon colors that I was talking about, and the Marlin looking different than just the black. Yeah, so I don't really know. I still draft that. I'll take it, but I'm trying to figure all this out. Fun stuff. Okay, let's keep it going. We're almost done.
Last pick. I'm going to go with. I kind of want to round out by having a badge style pick, and so I'm going to go with the Texas Rangers.
Ooh.
It's red and blue. It's very Texas. It's the lettering on the T is very. It's got that. I don't know what about it, but that the badge style, it just looks pretty cool. I will shout out to the Seattle Mariners, who also has the compass is cool as well. But
yeah, the compass is cool. The Rangers, it feels like that's like a police officer's badge.
it does.
Like
But that's what Texas Ranger
style.
is. Yeah. I like that. Pretty cool.
You have Chuck Norris come roundhouse kick you in the face.
Name this pod. It's very Texas. That was a comment that was just made.
Very Texas. What are you gonna say? I mean, that's it. It's true.
They got their own style over there.
Texas.
Good work, everybody. That's a
Dallas.
draft.
Great work.
That's Dallas.
Okay.
All right. So that is going to do it for this episode. Hopefully, this is the last time you hear Zach Durham for a while.
Correct.
As we have said, we are T- any second now. The baby will be here. Don't worry, me and Mason will attempt to hold down the fort. No promises. It might be like the teacher is away type situation. The kids will play.
I don't know. I can't make any promises of how well this is going to go with me being gone because we just had like 45 minutes of technical
with you
difficulties.
being gone. Are you leaving too? All right, so it'll be a solo pod when Zach. I guess when Zach has the baby, Mason's moving in to help take care of it. I will be rolling. Don't you guys worry. I can ramble on by myself for 45 minutes.
Solo pod.
Do it all the time. Sorry. So, all right. So that's for real now. Actually, for real this time. Third time's a charm. That is going to be today's episode.
Love it.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for following on all of our socials. Make sure you like and subscribe on Apple and Spotify. Leave a review. Tell us how awesome we are. But until next time, we will catch you on Monday for a Messing Around Monday without Zach Durham, we hope. See you guys.
Yep. That's Dallas.